Hi and welcome back to Movies Explained. Today we will be recapping a documentary called Tinder Swindler, which is based on a true story about a playboy which scammed multiple women with his fake money and lifestyle. So without further ado, let's begin. Pernilla thinks that everybody wants to have someone in their lives, and the easiest way to find someone nowadays is on the dating apps. One can find whatever he wishes for, which may be to marry someone, date someone, or to hook up. Moreover, one can see the details of them on Google. She thinks that it will be fun, so she likes Simon's profile on the Tinder app, and she thinks that she cannot be the same again as one swipe has changed her life. Cece says in her interview that whatever has happened to her seems like a movie, and in the movies there are bad guys. Simon has private jets, expensive cars, and amazing parties all over the world, and with that there are warnings and threats from his enemies. She also adds that it has been a freaking hell and she is afraid of it. Cece says life is about love, and the happiest times in her life have been when she was in love. She remembers when she was coating the second layer of mascara on her eyelashes, putting on blush on while getting ready. She thinks it does not matter how many heartbreaks she has, she will always goes after the love. She then adds that she loves dating, and when he feels nervous and at that moment she knows there is something. She says the first memory she has about love is Disney, as she used to watch Beauty and the Beast and has remembered all the songs and dialogues. She loves Belle, as Belle was a small town girl, as Cece is, and Belle has found someone and in a sense has saved him. She thinks that it stays with her, the thought that a prince will come and save her. Even though she knows it is not real, but it is still with her a bit. She thinks that everybody has that hope deep down inside them. But finding some Prince Charming in real life is not that easy. Cece also mentions that she has been on Tinder app for more than 7 years, and then she is asked how many Tinder matches she has, to which she laughs and replies that it is 1,024 matches. She shares how she manages her Tinder profile, and she says that she demands a full package. She further adds when she sees Simon's picture for the first time, he had the look that she wants. He was stylish and had his Instagram linked to his Tinder account. She checks his Instagram account and sees pictures of him with animals, traveling and partying with friends. She thinks that he is living a life she will never be able to experience. So she likes his profile, and it is match. Simon texts her fairly quickly and says that he is leaving London tomorrow, so does she want to meet for the coffee? He asks her to meet him in the hotel he is staying at and sends her a Google Map link. She thinks that it will be a meeting hardly for an hour, as he seems to be a busy guy. She goes to his fancy hotel and waits for him, and she sees him when he gets out of the elevator, and she feels the strong aura of his personality. He says that he is the CEO of LLD Diamonds and gets that company from his father. Hearing that, she was amazed, and he tells her about his baby daughter who is 2 years old and that he is not with his ex-wife anymore. He says that he wants to know her further, but he is going to Bulgaria and if she would like to join him. She agrees, and he asks his driver to drop her home so she can pick her stuff and passport. So she packs her stuff and informs her girl group that she is leaving for Bulgaria on a private jet, and she meets his ex-wife and his daughter at the airport, and Simon informs her that they are going with them on the plane. She drinks champagne with caviar and eats sushi and thinks that she is in a different world. They reach Bulgaria, and she gets no from his ex-wife that what a wonderful father he is and that he has been supporting them even though they are not together anymore. Cece and Simon get intimate, and she sees some marks on his back. He tells that he has been to jail in South Africa. This surprises her, but he says that he has a deal there, but he was betrayed, and so he has been to jail on false pretenses. He then gets a lot of phone calls, and Simon commands her to go back to his house as he is super busy. She flies back to London, and he messages her that he is already missing her, and they both start texting each other, and suddenly he asks her about her address and sends a beautiful bouquet of red roses. She thinks that they have something special. Cece is visiting her home in Oslo and asks Simon to come to Oslo. He comes to Oslo, and she goes to meet him with a Valentine's Day present. Simon confesses that he is serious about her and if she wants to be his girlfriend. She agrees happily. He tells her about his life and the threats he has been receiving and shows the pictures of bullet and funeral flowers he has been receiving lately. Then he asks if she will be able to live with him under such circumstances. She agrees to be there for him for good and bad, and he says that he has deleted the Tinder app and the account. Pernilla says that she likes an ideal guy, a smart one but funny and very impulsive. She says that she has been an independent girl from the age of 16, so she doesn't need a man to take care of her, but she will appreciate a man to share her life. One day, she sees Simon's profile on Tinder, and she thinks that he is well-traveled and still works very hard. She likes him, and they get matched. Simon texts her that he is in Amsterdam right now, and will she like to visit him. He books her ticket to Amsterdam. She gets there and visits his house. She talks to him and feels an instant connection. He takes her to the lunch and then to the Diamond Museum. She has a great time there and texts him that she is missing him and that she had a fun day. They start texting, sending voice messages and exchanging pictures. One day he flies to her place just because she was having a bad day. Cece Lai tells that he has been away for business a lot, but they keep each other informed through texting and calls. He asks her to move in with him and she started looking for the apartment right away. One night, she gets a message from Simon, a picture of Peter, Simon's bodyguard, injured. He says that he is safe now and asks her to go to sleep again. The next morning, he sends her a voice note that he cannot use his credit cards anymore because his security team says that his enemies are tracking him down through his credit cards. He asks her if he could use her credit cards for some time. She immediately agrees and he asks her to come to Amsterdam with cash $25,000. She goes to Amsterdam and gives him the money. He then tells her that he had to delete his Instagram account due to the security reasons. Later, Simon gets a call from Peter and he informs Simon that there is a security breach and he leaves. He tells her that he is going to Stockholm. Pernilla feels surprised as Simon comes to Stockholm very spontaneously and asks her to join the party at night. She goes there but leaves very early. The next morning, she then texts Simon if he wants to join her for a coffee and Simon sends her his hotel address and says that he is already in Spain. On the other hand, Simon texts Cece Lai informing her that the card is not working. She calls customer service pretending to be the one using the card and traveling around. He asks her to enhance the card limit. He says her that he can employ her in LLD Diamonds so that she can get a play slip and can enhance the card limit. He says that he is grateful of her for her support. In Mykonos, Simon calls Pernilla and tells her about his new girlfriend Paulina and she asks him to meet her there. She meets Paulina and she finds her young, energetic, beautiful but very down to earth. They both continue their summer tour with him and they then go to Rome. Cece Lai visits Oslo again and says to Simon that she cannot wait to see him there and to introduce him to her family. Simon calls her and says that he cannot come to Oslo right then. She feels disappointed. Later, he tells her to get more loans. She takes a loan of $25,000. She receives a check of $50,000 from Simon, but it is not cashed. Then she feels that she has been betrayed. She comes to an article on Google how an Israeli man is defrauded women and she sees a pattern there. She gets to know that he has been to jail, but he never stopped. She thinks that he must be stopped, so she decides to do that. Pernilla receives a message from Simon that he has been framed in big diamond smuggling case and his family has been arrested. Their credit cards and accounts are freezed. He sends her the same picture that he previously sends to Cece Lai. He asks Pernilla to give him $30,000. She has the savings to get an apartment, but she still sends him the amount. Cece Lai decides to go to the biggest newspaper in Norway, VG, and they take the story. They demand all the evidence and she sends them the WhatsApp chat and bank transfer details. VG newspaper team goes to the authorities and gets to know the names of women whom he has defrauded by the name of Shimon Yehuda Hayat. Cece Lai is told to go through those women's profile and if she knew them. She checks their profile and says that she knows none of them. They inform the police, but they have to prove that Simon Leviev and Shimon Yehuda Hayat is the same person. They hire a journalist who knows about Israel and go to his birth house and they get his old record where he is suspected of stealing check from his colleagues. He is supposed to present before the court, but he leaves the country before the trial. Simon calls Pernilla and says that he is ashamed as he cannot return her money till now and he needs some more money right now. So she transfers him $10,000 again. Next week he sends her a receipt that he has sent $100,000 to her account. Simon then asks Pernilla to book his flights from her card. She hasn't received the money yet, but he says that she will receive it shortly. She goes to her bank and gets to know that there is no transfer of money. The VG newspaper team gets new information but cannot find where he is now. They then find Pernilla and text her that does she have contact with someone named Simon Leviev. She sends the message screenshot to Simon and he says that his enemies are trying to get some information. The journalist Erland Artson comes to meet Pernilla and Pernilla tells him that she knows where he is and she is going to Munich to meet him tomorrow. They go to Munich together and Pernilla and VG newspaper team plan to get him. Pernilla is in contact with VG team all the time and she decides to sabotage Simon's fabulous life. She meets him and pretends to be totally normal and they go for the dinner in a fancy hotel. When they comes out of the hotel, Simon sees VG newspaper team secretly recording him and he takes Pernilla and goes away. He gives her a watch to sell it and get her money. Pernilla takes the watch to sell but gets to know that it is a fake one. She calls him and asks him the truth and he again lies. She then says that she knows he has double-crossed her and he has to pay for that. The article The Tinder Swindler is published in the VG newspaper with pictures of him. Both of the women receive some mean comments and they realize it takes a lot of courage to unveil such scam, but they do not want anyone else to get scammed. CC Lai meets Pernilla and they publish this article in many countries. They go to the talk shows and many new agencies to publish the article. They pressurize the police to catch him, and the victims from all over world unite and tell the story about the scam he does to them. Elaine shares that when she is at the airport waiting for her flight to visit his boyfriend, she sees him in a picture on the Instagram with the article The Tinder Swindler. She feels dejected as she has been dating him for 14 months. She then compares the pictures and the messages in the article to the pictures and article that has been sent to her, and she realizes she has been receiving the same words and pictures. She matches the pattern and gets to know he has been cheating on her and scamming her with the same story as she has told CC Lai and Pernilla. She has given $140,000. He gives the statement that Cecilia and Pernilla has been paid by his enemies. She decides to take back her money from him and she makes a plan to do so. So she plans to swindle the Tinder Swindler. She works in luxury fashion industry. She asks him to let her sell his clothes and he agrees. She flies to Prague and he takes her to a plastic surgeon to change his cheekbones, nose and jaw. She packs his clothes and goes back to Amsterdam, and he hands over a letter to her which states that he is thankful that she has been with him in these hard times. She sells his cloth online. On the other hand, Simon has been calling her constantly, but she does not respond. He asks for her help, but she does not listen to him. He also sends him the pictures that he is eating leftovers and living in one-star hotel. Elaine feels contented. He then asks her for a plane ticket. Elaine remembers when he wants to go to Greece. She notices that the message she sent is not delivered and she realizes that he is on a flight. She checks the flight from Prague to Athens and notifies the police. He gets arrested by Interpol on a fake passport under the name David Sharon. CC Lai and Pernilla get to know that he has been arrested. He is taken to the jail and he is sentenced to 15 months jail for the crimes he has done in Israel, but is never charged with defrauding them. The documentary ends here with the question that where exactly Simon is currently, and will he ever be held responsible for what he did to these women? Thanks for watching. If you liked it, then please consider liking our video and subscribing to our channel. We will see you in the next one.